How dare you cycle on the cycle path? The title pretty much sums it up, but here's the story. Last year, I worked at a theme park which was at the end of a very long cycle path which looped around the coast. Since the alternative route was an A road, most of us brought bikes and we ended up forming a little cycle club to commute in. One day, we're going along the path and I'm in front. A man stops and literally blocks me with his bike. I had the choice to either stop or swerve into the A147. "What the hell?" the man sputters and scoots his bike closer. I guess he was trying to square up to me, but he looked like a penguin with hemorrhoids. Anyway, back to the quacking.
"Get off that bike right now! You're breaking the law, you selfish cow!"
One of my co-workers quipped, "What did you do this time, Civis?" This probably didn't help the situation. The man ignores my co-worker and keeps yelling at me.
"My kid is cycling here, you're putting him in danger!"
Said kid is wobbling around on a trike, but thankfully on the far side of the pavement. His dad isn't watching the kid at all, so I'm not sure why his otherwise impeccable safety concerns didn't apply to this kid being unwatched near heavy traffic. But what do I know? "It's a cycle path," I point out. "I'm allowed to cycle on it."
"No, you're not! Only children are allowed on here."
He fails to remove his ass cheeks from his metal irony machine, but I make a point of looking at it. He points at the 40-mile-per-hour lorries and buses driving past us.
"You have to get on the road, or I'll report ya."
Co-workers stop sniggering at me for long enough to find his voice.
"You're cycling on the path too, mate."
This triggers an almighty glare.
"I am looking after my child! You don't care what you're putting him in danger, do you?"
At this, we all burst out laughing. As I said, we all worked at the theme park as ride operators. We spent 9 hours a day checking harnesses, giving safety talks, running safety checks, and closely supervising children on our rides. We knew more about safety regulations than a paranoid hypochondriac in a herpes convention. But of course, the parent doesn't know why we are laughing. He growls and barrels past me, knocking my bike right to the lip of the curb with me on it. His kid obviously wobbles past us, once again, behind his dad. In the whole argument, the man hadn't looked at his son once. For the rest of the season, all of my friends teased me for cycling on the cycle path. I've got to say, what an absolute Looney Tune that guy is. Our next story was posted by user dvan1231, titled, "I'm sorry someone in my family is dead." I've never been so disgusted in my life. My aunt died suddenly today, and I'm trying to fly an emergency flight home, and my flight was cancelled. This bench with a stroller is trying to cut in line while I'm trying to get new tickets. She's in a hurry because she's about to miss family boarding for her on-time flight. I said, "I'm sorry I was here first." She starts to argue with me, and I said, "I'm sorry my flight was just cancelled and someone in my family just died. I'm not in the mood." She seriously fudging says I'm traveling with a child. I snapped back, "Your child is alive. Someone in my family is dead." She goes, "You're not the only one going through things. Sorry you feel special." So I said, "Sorry you feel special just because you have a child." She finally goes, "I'm gonna let you go because you seem like you're in a bad place." I looked her dead in the eye and said, "Yeah, I am." She then gets into an argument with me about how she was in line but was off to the side. I said, "So you weren't in line?" Then she had the nerve to tell me I don't know how lines work. Unknowing of the situation, her husband comes up to me asking if they could cut cause they were about to miss the family boarding. She says, "Don't ask her!" I snapped at him too. Our next story was posted by user La La La, not listening, titled, "No ma'am, you and your kids may not cut in front of me." So, today my husband and I were feeling bored and adventurous, and decided to make a pilgrimage to a posh coffee bar in our city. We've been meaning to go for months, but never got around to it. We pulled into the lot and it's packed, 10:45 AM on a Sunday, so we expected it. As I'm getting out of the car, the mum bee next to me is struggling to get 3 kids out of their seats while her husband stood by the front of the car watching. not helping. I hop out and excuse myself and walk into the cafe with my husband. Huge line. 2 more people come in after us, then Mumby and her horde. She immediately starts bitching about the line. She complains loudly to her husband at first, but when he's clearly ignoring her, she decides to just complain to thin air. Why is this line always so long? God, why don't they just have more staff? Why does every fudging person have to come at the same dang time? Ah! She eventually asks the couple in front of her if she can go ahead because her kids are really hungry. Insert guilting sad face here. These saints begrudgingly say sure. So now they are directly behind husband and I. She then says to me, "Excuse me, miss, may we have the spot before you in line? My children have been waiting a long time and are very hungry." With the nicest voice I could find, I said, "I'm sorry, ma'am. We've been waiting a while too and are also hungry. The line is moving faster now at least." I gave her a smile, even though she was glaring at me. I turned back around, only to hear her mutter, "Wow, what a bitch. Can you believe some people? How rude." It took all of my effort to not react. Husband is a conflict avoider, I am not. But I respect his wishes enough to not cause a scene in public while I'm with him. Eventually, she starts telling her husband how they're always out of Mediterranean spinach breakfast sandwich. She wants, and she better get it this time, or she's gonna be ticked. This is when I concoct a seriously evil plan. I check my watch. It's 10:55. A minute or 2 later, it is our turn. Husband orders his soy chai, and I slowly order my vanilla nitro cold brew with cream. No, not cream. Oh, sorry, with soy. Oh, and an extra pump of vanilla. The barista rings up as I check my watch. It's 10:58. I ask to add a Mediterranean spinach breakfast sandwich to the order. She says sure, no problem. Gives us the total. I'm digging in my purse for my wallet. Darn, just can't seem to find it. More digging. Oh, there it is. Finally. So I hand her the card, wait for the receipt, and slowly sign. Pack my purse back up, say thank you, and walk away. Husband says, "You're hungry? We ate for breakfast an hour ago." I say, No, I'm not hungry, just had to do this." "Do what?" I nod towards Mumby. Husband looks over. She orders her coffee and some juice things for kids, doesn't even ask if her husband wants anything. Then it happened. "And 1 Mediterranean spinach breakfast sandwich." Barista says, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, we stopped serving breakfast at 11. We have all our lunch options today, though." Mumby looks at her watch and yells, "What? Are you kidding me? It's 11:02! I'm sorry, ma'am, company policy is to stop breakfast at 11. Is there anything else I can get you?" "Get your manager, this is ridiculous! You just sold one a moment ago, this is absurd!" Manager came over, explained the situation, apologized, but refused to give that binge a sandwich. Bless her heart. Mumby retracts entire order and stomps out, red-faced and yelling to her car. My husband was trying to hold back his laughter. Our order came up, we grabbed it and went back to the car. I'm unwrapping the sandwich and take a bite exactly as I'm trying to scoot around her, trying to strap her kids in again and say, "Oh, excuse me, ma'am, just gonna sneak by you real quick." Midwest. She's fudging glaring at me. The worst death stare I have ever gotten. I get in the car and unwind the windows ever so slightly. It's so hot today, right? I slowly unwrap the rest of the sandwich and take a few more bites, passing it to husband and back while she is screaming and struggling with her kids, getting no help from Daddict. As soon as she pulled away, we burst into laughter. Today was a good day. Our next story was posted by user PanavisDerp, titled Entitled Family in Minecraft. So, I play on a pretty small survival server where you just know everybody. But all of a sudden, an entire family joined. They had identical names with slight differences. There were 2 entitled kids and 1 entitled dad. First, the youngest entitled kid comes into my small house and literally steals my armor. I take it back, and then she sees my collection of parrots. She asks for one, and I tell her it costs 3 diamonds each. She reported me, and I filed a harassment report on her. She got banned. Her dad forced me to give her a free dog. So what do? Give her the coordinates to my creeper farm where she keeps dying. Her brother sold crap like a stack of dirt for 10 diamonds. I banned him from all my trades. For my revenge, I killed them, burned their stuff in lava. The end. Our next story was posted by BrollyDBS9001, nice reference, titled, Entitled Mother Yells at Me for Buying My Youngest Sister a Pack of Underwear. Background. I have a little sister that is 6 years old, and I often go to the dollar store to buy a drink or something. On mobile. Caster, entitled mother, store employee, and me. Earlier today, I went to the store to get me a root beer and some chips. Soon, I get a text from my mum asking if I can grab my sister a pack of underwear since she can't fit a lot of her other pairs. I grab my snacks and walk over to the area that has underwear. I grab a pack and feel a hand grab my arm.
What do you think you're doing? Those are for little girls, you sick pervert.
They're for my sister.
Well, you should at least have a female get them so you don't do anything with them.
Lady, chill out. I didn't even plan on getting them. My mum texted me asking if I could get them.
Well, why didn't she come here and get them?
Because I was already here. Now, just leave me alone. So I get to the counter, and the employee rings up my items when the entitled mother shows up.
Don't let him have those underwear, he is a sick pervert!
They're for my sister. Ma'am, you need to leave OP alone. After that, I go home and give my sister the underwear. Edit, my sister is running around the house with her underwear just on. I think she likes them. What is this story? Our next story was posted by user Caleb, titled, Entitled Mother Tried to Get Me Fired Because I Called Their Kid by Their First Name. I've worked childcare since I was 17, so as you can imagine, I have a lot of stories with entitled mothers. I've even posted some. This is my most recent encounter and is honestly making me rethink my profession. So let's introduce the cast. EM, entitled psycho mother who named her kid something she hates. EJ, Eugene Julian, fake name, but that's also the kid. M, me, the anti-hero of this story. So, like I said, I work in daycare, and it's been a really great job as I've been working through my degree plan. I'm going into my last semester, and this is my last summer I'll be working at this company. I have never worked with a younger grade before, and they placed me with first grade for the summer. I was bummed out, but it's whatever. I'm making money. So, Eugene, the kid, and again fake name, but it's along the type of the name that's associated with, is in my group of students. He was a pretty good kid. Didn't have to talk to him much because he was always reading. Well, his name on my sheet of kids was listed as Eugene last name. So for the entirety of the first half of the summer, that's what I called him. That's what he's introduced himself as. That's what the other kids called him. One day, I was leaving at the same time that Eugene was leaving. We are staggered when we arrive/leave, and I saw him leaving with his mum. He saw me and said, "Bye, Mr. Help Account." And I said, "Bye, Eugene, I'll see you tomorrow." His mum flipped around so fast, I thought she was gonna get whiplash.
Do not call my son that!
I was taken aback. I didn't even know what to say at that point. It was his name, and what I had called him all summer. So I just nodded, and the kid said, "She only lets people call me Julian," which is a fake name. So I let the mum know I would do my best to call him Julian, and I would make note of it. After this encounter, the kid was starting to really misbehave. I remembered to call him Julian, and that was something that he seemed to respond okay to, but he still wouldn't listen. Well, one day he was climbing on something and he almost fell, so I came up behind him to try to catch him. He swung at me, and I moved back and said, "Eugene, stop!" I corrected myself immediately, and he looked at me, and I kid you not said, "Mommy said I don't have to listen to you when you call me that!" So basically I just called for a manager. When they came, I explained everything and told her about the name. She corrected it on the roster, but I was surprised the kid tried to hit me, so I called him by the name I learned first out of impulse. He got in trouble, and the mum was ticked. She called the facility and told them that I was bullying her son, even though I had literally only slipped up with his name once. She stood in the office for, I kid you not, 2 hours, demanding that I get fired. Basically, they told her to go away, and if she has an issue with the name, then she should have listed him as Julian. This happened Friday, and I'm still trying to get it. Lol, hope you guys enjoyed. Our next story was posted by user DarkDragon532, titled, "Entitled Mother Break Into My Friend's House with Her Entitled Twins." Oh, shit. So this happened last year during our summer break. I went to my friend's house as he lived close by. I went there so we could play games. We usually go to each other's houses in order, like I go to his, then he comes to mine, so on. We played video games on his console, Switch and Xbox 360, for a good 45 minutes, until I decided to take a break. We both went downstairs to make some rose water and went upstairs, then heard the door open after a few minutes. We both thought it was his mother, so we went downstairs. Okay, now believe me or not, probably some random lady, entitled mother, manages to come inside his house with her 7 to 9-year-old twins. ET1, ET2, or ETS, plural. I forgot to mention that they were boy-girl, 1 equals boy, 2 equals girl. So here's the basic short form: EM, ET1 to S, me, GF. Good friend, okay? Hello, how may you help you? And how did you manage to open the door? Oh, I know how to lockpick, it's a real good skill. And how may we help you? I was wondering if my children could play with you. I need to go to my salon and my regular babysitter is on leave. They were half our age, so... Ma'am, you're not allowed to enter my house without knocking. Well, I know your mum, so take my kids and take care of them. Yay! Yay! That's the sound of the twins frantically running upstairs. So my good friend tells me to run to catch them while he deals with the entitled mother. I try to run up when someone, hint, entitled mother, pulls me up by my collar and says, "Let them play! This is not your house, nor do we know you. Leave now!" Crash sounds intensified. Something like that. I run and see the most saddest sight in my whole entire life. They drank the rose water. Ew. Broke the glass by smashing it on his TV. The controller in the entitled twins' hands, and they're trying to break it. What the frick are you doing? I hold them up and bring them downstairs. Your brats broke the TV and glass. You'll need to pay for it. My good friend almost faints and runs upstairs to check the mess. Good friend comes down and is in full mad mode. The twins took the controllers and ran away along with the entitled mother. We called the police and they in 5 minutes came. We explained them this and then they told us to stay down cause of the glass here. They said to call your parents and they will be back soon. Good friend called his mum and she came. She cleaned the mess and keeps it in a bag for proof. Police officer enters, and he says,
I found them. Please tell me how much damage they did.
Good friend's mum entered the story. They broke our TV in class and took the controllers. Right now, we remember how they entered the house. Me and good friend say,
They lockpicked the door.
Jinx! Then the police officer says,
Says that's an crime, and asked GFM if she knew them. She doesn't know anyone with twins.
the police officer man takes us all to the police station and estimates the fine. Entitled mother is arrested for lockpicking. Police found proof of it from our lock. The total fine was 4. TV glass, 2. Lockpicking fine controllers, 2. $1,320 all up. They had a really good TV. She was arrested for 2 years. That's what I read on Wikipedia for arresting for lockpicking. Good friend's mother had to attend court and said she was arrested. She didn't mention how many days or months or years. In the bright side, they got a much better TV. Now I am waiting for some twins to come and break my TV. Actually, no. Thanks for reading, and don't let your children come into my house. And everyone clapped. And everyone clapped at that story. Epic. Very epic. I think that's where we can leave it today, guys. Tell me what you thought about it in the comments. Check my social medias out. Send me good messages. Tell me what you thought about everything. And have a good day. I'll see you soon. Bye.